Hi Amber, home and out to have to run a few errands here today. I thought I would let you take a look and see what it looks like running around outside. A little bit of breeze here and there. I think we're between storms as the news says, but looking that way, which is basically over towards where you live, it looks like a lot of clouds. And that one right in front, look at how dark that one is. But we're supposed to get some more rain starting late tonight. And they say it might even snow up in the mountains a good amount with this storm, because they're supposed to have a colder front pulling in right behind the front that we have, so it should drop a little bit of cold or colder precipitation. I'll get it out. Looking there across the valley, pretty view. Mountains are turning green from all the rain, which is really cool. Normally they're green by this time because we'd have had rain earlier in the winter time, fall and winter, but it wasn't there. But boy, looking across, it's just a velvety green mountain back over there. Looks pretty. Looking ahead, we won't be able to see San Gorgonio. It's covered with clouds, shrouded in the clouds, however you say it. And it's nice. We need rain. I noticed the other day when I was driving up, coming off the freeway, that the mountains over here to the left, which I can't move the camera because it's mounted pretty much, but where the fire was, the line fire, they're starting to green up nicely. And I don't think we've had a lot of mudslides in lower elevation. I know they shut down to 330 for a little while because they had some mud slides up along 330 of the ways, and so they had to close it. But that's open now, so hopefully they've got everything under control. Trying to get up here to get on the freeway. Again, beautiful clouds today. Beautiful sky. Turn here in just a second and be looking kind of towards where you are at Mount Baldy area as we go through this curve. So off to the right, you can see the base of the mountain down where you live, but you probably couldn't see it. I could, because I could turn my head. But there's those green hills straight ahead that are kind of cool looking. Looking back to where we were, it's really dark. The clouds are just backing up against the mountains right there, which is what they normally do, so it's not anything new, spectacular, or different. It's just a natural way of things. somebody said it was open now, so I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe so. I don't have a Costco. I have a Walmart down the street from me, and I hardly ever go there anymore. So, do I need to go to Costco? No. I usually just go to Albertsons because it's less crowded. Walmarts are always super busy. People all over the place. And so it's only a little more expensive as I price things. So I guess I pay just a little bit more for the convenience, because nowhere anymore is what you would call cheap. I suppose if it is cheap, it probably isn't worth having. So looking straight ahead, you got some pretty blue with the clouds. Oh, there's an airplane up there. You should be able to see that. That's cool. Not very high either. So he's either taken off from San Bernardino, or he's making the loop to come in to land to San Bernardino, because he's pretty low. Much lower than if he was going to Ontario. Anyway, it is interesting to see him quite that low. And it's Wednesday. It's about 2:40. Traffic's moving well, which is amazing. Normally this loop is backed up a little more than this, going into Redlands. So who knows where all the people are? Maybe they're at work. Not. I was watching a news thing on YouTube, and you know, they're thinking about raising the minimum wage again for people that work in the fast food industry. And you know, people deserve to make money, but to get paid $22 or $25 an hour to flip hamburgers while you're in high school or whatever, that's just not right. All it does is drive up the cost for everybody and everything, and it's already much higher. Notice when we're out running around traveling, the costs of things are about 20-25% higher than what they used to be. So went to Denny's the other day, which I mentioned to you, and just had breakfast things, and $50 for 2 breakfasts, a cup of coffee and an iced tea, basically. $50. Five years ago, you could have gotten that for $30. So in 5 years, since 2020, my gosh. And you know what? In 2020, I made about the same I make now on retirement. So, well, actually in 2020, in part of 2020, I was still working. And so I was making about 25% more than I'm making now, maybe 30%. Because, you know, when you retire, you go to a lesser amount that you make, and then You know, if you decide you want to leave your spouse money when you die, then you get even less of your retirement. And so I dropped about 25-30% from where I was income-wise. Nowhere near what Grandma lost. Man, Grandma took a beating when she retired because she didn't have quite as many years as I had in with public schools, and then she also didn't have an incentive that was given out in the late 80s to teachers to keep them teaching, and so I got that, and so that's another little bit I get every month. Not a lot, but a little bit, and every little bit adds up. There's the Redlands Post Office. You should be familiar with pretty much where I am. I've done this in lots of different videos. I don't know that I'll use all of this or not, but it's there. Ruth? Ruth? So I got a call, and of course I have a wonderful iPhone, and for some reason it didn't want to cooperate with me. For some reason it didn't even come up on my car information, which is really surprising. I love iPhones. Maybe I'll buy 3 of them, and then I can have one in each hand and one in the pocket. And maybe then I'll have good whatever with it. Not. Anywho, I'll get back with you when we get closer to the other end of town, where I can show you some other stuff. Love you. Chat with you later. Bye-bye. All right, we're trying it again, Amber. Got messed up before. Look at the dark clouds ahead of me. They're backing up against the hills. Excuse me, the mountains. You can see the light over there on the left where they aren't so dark. And you can't see it further off to the left. There's actually a clear spot, a little bit of a clearing. I'm down in San Bernardino right now. I was traveling across on the freeway, and I don't know if you remember or ever went to Farrell's Water Park, which was in Redlands. It was a water park that was built there, and it was really kind of the in thing back in the mid-80s. And, you know, it went up through the 90s, and it eventually kind of just got out of, you know, being an important thing. But anyway, what happened, eventually they closed down, and it sat vacant for a number of years. You know, they had big pools, and they had water slides, and they had, you know, a miniature golf course and all, but and it's too bad it closed, because it was kind of a place that kids could go and, you know, do kid stuff, fun stuff. And there were arcades and places, you know, things for kids to do with their parents and all that. Anyway, they shut down, place got dilapidated and all this, and eventually they sold to somebody, and they're building an enormous warehouse there, and it's right off the freeway at let's see, that would be not Bryn Mawr, oh gosh, Washington, no, it's where the, I don't know, it's where the Walmart is. I'm lost now. That's what happens when you get old. So anyway, they built this enormous warehouse, or they're still building it. My gosh, the thing goes for the entire block. And what's my point is there's already a bunch of warehouses in the area. And so what that means is you've got all of these trucks, and you're going to have more trucks going. And you know, where I was out driving today, and there's nothing but big rigs everywhere. You know, you got a car, a big rig car, big rig car, big rig car, big rig. I mean, they're just everywhere. Pretty soon, big rigs are going to outnumber the cars. And you know, these highways really weren't built for that many big rig trucks to be on them. You know, it was built to move people from one place to another, not necessarily to move goods and stuff like that the way they move them today. That's why they built train lines. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just, I was looking at that going, oh my gosh, that means there's going to be so many more trucks, because where we're driving right now, there's also warehouses, and so there's nothing but trucks. And on the street we're on right now, I don't see as many trucks, because this street really isn't designed to handle trucks. That's why the road is so beat up, is because the pavement wasn't set up to be thick enough to handle these heavy trucks. And so it, you know, deteriorates. And so some of them use different routes. And anyway, I was just thinking, my gosh, that's going to be an incredibly tough place. That intersection there, where they go on the freeway and they get off the freeway, and it's already really bad, and it's going to be just a terrible, terrible situation. Whoops, got 3 sheriff's cars in a hurry, but it's the way it is. I don't live there. I don't have to get on and off the freeway there. Oh, there's another sheriff's car. They got something going on where they need a whole bunch of guys. But that's probably what it is. So we're headed, actually northish. Yeah, we're headed due north. I looked at the compass on the car, because the mountains here are north. And you can see it's nice and dark, but it's supposed to rain tonight, so that's good. Got to get some rain. The mountains are supposed to get snow. Got to get some snow. All good. It's just cool looking at the ceiling of the clouds, how they just, you know, it looks like someone rubbed and smoothed them out, you know, trying to make them all smooth and even. I doubt you can see it on the camera. Now we're going to be turning a little bit to the east, and we might be able to see San Gorgonio, although I think it's still got it covered in clouds. You can see the cloud layer there, but the clouds are still, oh, that's pretty clouds. Those are thunderheads up there above. That's pretty. It's a pretty picture. I don't know if I can zoom in any at all. Like I said, these roads are just beat to heck, and mostly because they handle a lot of truck traffic now, because there's so many warehouses out this way. And again, nobody ever imagined there would be that many warehouses and this much. Many warehouses and this much traffic that would have these big rigs hauling all this tonnage. And so these highways really weren't built for that, or these roads. Now this one's going by the base. So you'd expect the road would be a little bit heavier, but it's not. And we're turning back towards the east again. Looking at the clouds there. That is a pretty view. Off on the right-hand side, you should be able to see the water tower. Pretty view out for a drive. I'm not going to move the camera, but we're going by another Amazon warehouse. These are the ones that are by the airport. So when flights come in that have Amazon stuff on them, because you know there are Amazon flights, they come here, and then of course they eventually have to go out from here in trucks. And so there's this fence that's over on the right that has rows of trucks in it. I saw it when we drove one time down that street. I don't remember why I was driving down it. Maybe it was when I was looking at the other water tower. Who knows? Anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit of the outside, what it was looking like. Sun hitting the hills are pretty. The clouds up above are pretty. It's a glorious day if it wasn't for my crappy iPhone. And I told you that I had fit with it a little bit ago because it wouldn't stop recording. It wouldn't do anything, and so I couldn't text because it wouldn't allow me to connect to anything. Oh, what a piece of junk. Gosh. Give me an Android any day. But that's neither here nor there. I'll have this one until it's paid off because, you know, they cost money. And who knows, maybe I'll start to like it eventually. I've only had it for 2 years, I think. Maybe it takes a while to get to like it. I doubt it. But as we come closer to the mountains, you can see the level of clouds. Still can't see San Gorgonio. It's back in the back there, stuck in all that clouds. But the clouds are awesome. Just beautiful. That's one thing about this part of California during this time of the year is we get beautiful clouds. And we get beautiful weather generally in the valley here. Looking around, you know, I've talked about that in other videos. You know, we're fortunate because we have this cool. Zoom out there. We have the mountains around us on one side, and there's lower hills on the other side, and so we get to see the clouds as they back up, and the weather's a little different than you have in other places, so it's all good, especially in the fall and winter when the air tends to be clearer. And since there aren't any big fires right now, the air's pretty clear, and just enjoying it. And with the hills turning green, just adds to it. The old rusty building there on the left that I talked about one time, put that in the video somewhere along the line. It's a cool looking building. Oh, but I'm coming up here on the freeway, and this is all places you've seen before, so you know, it's not like it's something new and exciting. It's just a different day with a different perspective. Now we can't see the mountains for the clouds, but at least we can see the clouds, and they're awesome. Traffic was exceptionally light today. I mentioned that in the earlier part of the video, so if I use that, you'll hear it again. It was exceptionally light today because I traveled over on the 10 as well, and so I was traveling on a couple of freeways, so just light. And it's actually light right here. This is nothing compared to what it is a lot of times. So I don't know where everybody went. And I mentioned the Costco earlier. This is where the Costco is now. I don't know that you can see it. It's down the street just a little bit further. You can see the gas station, but it's right there. And now we're headed up towards further into Highland, because we are in Highland right now. But we are headed towards the 330 so I can go home. And that's the big loop that I made. If you look ahead, you can see a couple of houses, big houses up on the hills there on the center and the left. And those are tribal homes, you know, for the tribal elders, the head honchos. They have big houses, you know, because San Manuel Band Indians is pretty wealthy because of their casino that they have, and they all get money from that, and so they have some substantial houses up in there. There's more over on the left, further over, and then some back in one of the canyons that goes back. So it's just interesting. In fact, I understand that the tribe, as young people get older and they get to the age that they should have a house, they build them all houses. And they pay for all of that out of their tribal money, which is nice. You know, if you got it, you got it. If you don't got it, well, you're never going to have it, probably. Well, I'm never going to have it. So, such is life. And here you can see the hills above. They're greening up a lot, looking good. Up on the top there's some burn scars still, but even that's greening up around where the bushes that burned were. So hopefully they'll get some green grass growing and some of the bushes will start to pick up again, which they will. Even though the bushes are burned, a lot of times it burns pretty fast. So either the bush is dead or they leave seeds and they start growing again. All right, well, that's enough excitement for one day. I don't know if you can see the price of gas. It says $4.79. I drove through Victorville yesterday and I paid $3.89 a gallon for gas. So why is the gas cheaper in Victorville? I don't know. Although when I was in Baker, I paid $5.09 a gallon. Yep. I guess it's you get what you can for gas where you get it. Just like anything else in life, you charge what you can charge for it. Well, I love you. I'll chat with you later. This is going to be way too long as it is. Try to have a good evening now. Bye-bye. Hi, Amber. I'm out running some errands. I was working on trying to get... I was working on trying to do a video for you while I was running around, and I had nothing but headaches. I can't even hold the phone anymore. I wasn't holding the phone before I had it in anything. Anyway, I got a text, so I was trying to get out of the, or to respond to a text. And you'd have thought I was asking to go to Mars. And so my iPhone and we had an altercation. And I couldn't get the videos to stop it. It kept videotaping. So somewhere along the line is probably video clips of me using extreme profanity towards the phone. In fact, at one point, finally, I had Siri come up because I was trying to turn the phone, just to shut it down so everything would close off and then just open it back up. I wasn't trying to turn it off, just push the button where it goes blank screen and all black, and then you turn it back on, and usually that clears everything. So anyway, I'm trying to do that over, and so Siri keeps coming up, and so I'm using profanity, and I'm not proud of it, but I was, and I was calling my phone all sorts of bad names and words and using them. And so Siri wasn't quite sure. That's what she said. I'm not quite sure how to respond to that. And so I told her to shut up. And finally, it got to a point where it was ready to shut down, but the video was still, or the screen was still running in the background. And so anyway, that is my frustration with my phone. I hate iPhones. Hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them. But after all that, I got kind of stressed, and we'll see, honey. Love you. Bye-bye.